Let me tell you something. This man right here, this man is an absolute unit. Welcome back to the Absolute Unit Podcast, episode 6. It's me again. Surprise, the only guy who's ever talked on this podcast. Gotta figure out a better way to start these things. I'm not good at starting. I just gotta go for it. I'm back playing Minecraft because last week I tried to play a different game while recording this and it did not go well. There's so much dead air. I had to cut out so much silence. The recording went from like an hour and 20 minutes down to like 30, just taking out the silences. Not great. Not a great episode for me to edit, honestly. And it was a lot shorter than I wanted. I want it to be more than 30 minutes usually, and that one was a little less, so it is what it is. But how's it going? I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's not, losing their mind. It's easy to, so I hope everyone's doing all right. I don't really have a goal in Minecraft right now. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm just kind of hanging out, trying to look. Somebody on the server said they were going to make like a concrete type generator factory. I don't know what to call it, but I don't know where they would have built that. Is this it? I don't know. This dude builds a lot of shit. I don't even know what I'm looking at most of the time. I think this is it. If I knew how to operate it, I would use it. Oh man. Is it weird how often I say I'll probably cut that, or I'll probably cut something out and then I just don't? Is that weird for you guys to hear? Where I'm like, I'll cut that, but you hear that part? So obviously I didn't cut it. Man, what the fuck am I doing? Dude, oh man. Somebody try to build roads at a cobblestone. How are you gonna find that? Oh man, I know what I could start this off with. So 2 days in a row this week, somebody has pulled out in front of me without looking, without stopping, just rolled right through a right turn right in front of me, and I've almost hit him. 2 days in a row this happened, and obviously both days I honked. One day, the day it was worse, we were in a parking lot, so obviously I flipped him off because he deserved it, but you gotta be careful with that, because if you flip them off and you're behind them, they're in control. They could brake check you, they could do whatever. They're in control there, but I mean, you gotta worry about the real crazies. If you're in front, like the real crazies that'll follow you, so that's not fun. But I wasn't like nervous about honking or like nervous about flipping them off, because obviously I'm in the right. Like, if anything does end up happening, I'm in the right, and they overreacted if they do anything to retaliate against a finger being pointed in their general direction. Some people overreact about that kind of stuff, and it's ridiculous. But yeah, overall, I hate driving. I hate being on the road with other people. I like driving really late at night when you see another car and you're like, what the fuck are you doing out? Go to bed, dude. It's like 2:30 in the morning. That's the best time to drive. Best time to drive is after 1 a.m. because it's just all vibes. I don't have any really bad road rage stories now that I think about it. Oh, I do have one. There's a road coming into our town, right? That's like kind of it is a major highway, but I was turning left onto a different road, and right here there are 2 left turn lanes. So I was in the far left one, and there's a truck right behind me, and light turns green. I go like normal. I don't wait a super long time, but as soon as we finish making the left turn, he whips out to the right lane that is gonna end soon. It ends soon, and this dude's got a huge truck and he's carrying a trailer behind it, and he whips out into the right lane and speeds past me and just mad dogs me. He gives me the dirtiest look ever, and I wasn't having it. So flipping the bird, right? And oh no. He flipped me off first. He just dangled the middle finger out the window, and I was like, what, bro? Fuck you. Flipped it right back. And this is when he kind of started driving like crazy that whole way, because after that, it becomes 1 lane and you just go for a while. Like, there are some turns you can make off of it, but obviously neither of us were going to. And I was going home, and I'm behind him, right? But then we get to where I'm going to turn left. I'm going to get off this road. I'm in the left turn lane. I'm in the front of the left turn lane. He's in the front of the straight lane. And this is where the story gets bad, because like obviously the tensions were already high. My heart's beating quick, and I'm like, fuck this guy, fuck this old dude. Fuck this dude up. Honestly, like I was kind of ready. I was pissed, especially since my girlfriend was in the passenger seat. I think that's what stopped a lot of it. She was the voice of reason in a lot of things, but because I might have fucking lost it if she wasn't there. But yeah, I'm turning left, and he's in the straight lane, not like a straight or left lane, just going straight. I flip him off. I start to roll down a window because I'm thinking about throwing a drink at his car and like throwing a drink in his trailer, just because like I don't give a fuck about this guy. But he's mad at me. He's screaming at his window, at his closed window. He's screaming something because my windows are down. It's summer. I could hear what he's saying if he was man enough to roll down his windows. But we turn left, and he books it and makes a left turn from the straight lane like a crazy person. right? And I'm like, oh fuck. But I managed to get into the left lane that we're going in and get in front of him, and I like brake check him. But at this point, I'm heading to my apartment, and I'm like, I'm not leading this dude to where I live. Like, I'm just gonna fucking drive circles for however long it takes for this dude to fucking get out of here. Because with my girlfriend in the car, I'm not gonna stop in a parking lot and beat the shit out of this guy, right? But he pulls into the parking lot, and I just go straight because I'm like, not worth it. Not worth it at this point. Even though I know technically I didn't do anything wrong. If I pull into that parking lot, something's gonna happen, and then there's no right or wrong in that situation. So glad my girlfriend was there as a voice of reason, but also like I was pissed. I was fuming, dude. Oh man, I still think about that whenever I'm at that left turn lane. I'm like, fuck that guy, because he didn't just put me in danger. Like, him making that left turn that was very illegal from the straight lane, like with a trailer, he could have hit so many people. It was very lucky that everybody around us like was super cautious, because he was not being cautious. He could have caused some serious accidents with me or with other people. Just insane how angry people will get on the road. Like, I'll yell at people from my car because I'm just like, what are you doing? Stop, like, speed up, what the fuck are you doing? But like, never to the extent where like I'm gonna go out of my way to change what's going on and to change my positioning. I don't know what the best way to put it. I'm not gonna like go out of my way to get around them if it'll mean like putting somebody else in danger, because it's just not worth that. Driving's already fucking terrifying. You don't want to make like anybody have to do any quick scary reactions, because that's how bad things start. Oh man. But other than that, I don't have any like, that's really the only road rage story that I've encountered. It's crazy to think about. Also, I've talked about this before. It's crazy how certain things will stick with you. Like that left turn lane is now tied to a terrible memory. Crazy how that stick. Now let's get off a serious topic by talking about, if you guys can't hear that, there's like a weird beeping going on outside. What was that? Probably some truck outside. I hope that doesn't get picked up on the mic. Alright, so something that I hate about, something I absolutely hate about the English language is that the phrase believe you me, A, is even a thing, and B, that it's grammatically correct. That is the worst phrase ever. Do you want to know why? Believe you me doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would you ever say that? Just say believe me. They mean the same thing. Believe you me means believe me. Why is it grammatically correct? It infuriates me. I hate it. If I ever see it in a book or somebody says it on a show, I see it anywhere, I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, it's awful. I don't know why it pokes so many buttons in my brain, but it just does. It does, and I don't like it. It needs to not be a thing. Believe you me. That's like saying fucking anything. There's literally articles about like why it makes sense, dude, and some of them are tied to the Bible. Oh my god, dude. If something's only grammatically correct because they said something similar in the Bible, I don't think it should be grammatically correct anymore. That's 2,000 years ago. Language changes, dude. All right, just because somebody said command ye me in year 8 doesn't mean that in the year 2021 you should be able to say believe you me. All right, follow thou me? No, follow me. Command me. Believe me. Get rid of the extra Shakespearean language there. It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. I mean, the English language is already kind of awful. Like, you hear me say it, and it's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. There's so many articles about believe you me. I'm glad that this is a big topic, because I just thought of it after seeing it one day, and I was like, that's the worst thing ever. And it bugs me so much. Like, I think believe you me is way worse than the fact that you can just say buffalo 7 times and it's also grammatically correct. Is it 7 times or 8 times? Because you can say like a buffaloes 8 times. Buffalo. That's a grammatically correct sentence. You can also say will 7 times and it's a sentence. Like, will a person, will future tense, and then another person named Will. Oh my god, it's awful. That shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't be able to say buffalo 8 times and for it to be a real sentence. We gotta change something. We gotta get rid of English, scrap it, start again, try it again. Dude, could you imagine? Do you ever think about, like, if you could go back in time, what's one thing that you could change that would make the present the most different? I mean, obviously there's some big ones, but like, what's the smallest thing you could change that would have the biggest snowflake effect? Snowflake butterfly effect. I mean, the big ones are like if you stop the Bible from being published, like if you stop Christianity, that changes a lot, I think, because there was a lot of conquest and murder in the name of Christianity to spread it. But like if you went back and like stopped the English Empire, whatever you want to call it, the British Empire from becoming a thing, I feel like that changes a lot too. Like, what if people never discovered boats? What if water was just like intraversible? Traversable? Intraversible isn't a word. Unless I just don't. Untraversible? Untraversible. Okay. I wasn't that far off. See, English is awful. Scrap it, start again. But like, if people still in the equivalent of whatever this year is, in 2021, people still don't know what boats are, what's the world look like, right? It's the only reason I exist. Boats. My grandpa was an immigrant. So like, do you think things are better technically? I feel like global warming hasn't happened if there are no boats, right? Like where we're at now, like what's the technological equivalent of today if boats never start, right? We could look at the civilization tech tree and just get rid of the top part where all the boat stuff is and just see what it looks like. That'd be so interesting. Seeing the unique parts of the world come up with different technologies because there's never much intermingling unless you can get there by land. If there are no boats, people get crazy good at building bridges, right? This topic is terrible. I feel like I'm having some big brain moments and nobody else is. But that's okay. That's what this podcast is. It's a one-sided conversation. I have big brain moments and you sit there and you think, what is this kid talking about? Please, dude, just make some jokes. Just crack some jokes. Ah ha ha. Just be funny. I'm sitting here trying to discover, who invents the internet first if boats never exist. What game do I want to play right now? I told myself last night I wasn't going to play any video games today because I've got a decent bit of homework to do, which like isn't really homework. I've just got to read this book. Got to read a canticle for Leibowitz, and I have until Saturday to write like a little paper on it, but I'm like barely into the book. I'm like a fifth of the way into it. Maybe I'm about 25% of the way through the book, but I have 4 days to do it and I work 3 of those days. So I told myself I'm just going to grind it out, just going to read it because it's a good book. I like it so far, but I told myself I was just going to grind it out today, but now I'm sitting here recording this, playing Minecraft. Probably quit out. What other games I want to play? Oh man, I sometimes wish I still had my Xbox 360 because I get nostalgic for some of the games that I had, especially like when I got it. My parents got me 3 different games. They got me Call of Duty 2, which was already old at that point. I think Modern Warfare 2 had just come out when they gave it to me, but they probably weren't. I was like 11 or whatever. I was like 10. So they probably weren't gonna buy me a $60 game. They were like, let's buy 3 games that are like 10, 15 bucks each. So they bought me Call of Duty 2, Forza 2, I want to say. Yeah, Forza 2 and Forza. I don't know how to say it. And Batman Arkham Asylum, which Batman Arkham Asylum is to this game one of my favorite games ever. It's so good. Yeah, Forza 2. I looked up because I was like, if I see the cover art, I'll know exactly if it's the right one or not. I was kind of a psychopath when I played Forza 2. Because I would just set up like a regular bowl style NASCAR map where you're just going left constantly. I would just do that. I would try to get ahead of everybody else, or I wouldn't even try to get ahead of everybody else. I would just turn around and drive backwards as all the AI are trying to drive forward, and I just play like Demolition Derby, right? Which like is something you would see a psychopath do, right? Like, did other people do that? Am I alone in that? I was just like turning around and trying to ram into cars. Like if you were in an insane asylum and you saw somebody doing that with like just deadpan eyes and like no expression, you'd be like, oh, that makes sense. That's okay. I'm just going to move on. But like I was just 12 and I was having fun. I was laughing. I was like, oh, this is so fun. Oh. So like, am I okay? Nah, don't need to worry about it too much. God, that could have been the start of a menace right there. Might as well call me Dennis. Dude, it's probably just because I was a kid, but I tried to get all the achievements on Call of Duty 2, and it took me so long because you have to beat the campaign on the hardest difficulty, which was like real life. You get shot once, you're done. And like, I was a child. This is my first person shooter game, so I'm terrible at it, obviously. But like, I think me like grinding that out and doing it is a reason that I was good at like multiplayer games later. Maybe, who knows? But oh dude, Batman Arkham Asylum, fantastic game. All the Batman Arkham games are pretty good. I mean, I even like Origins. The story was kind of weird in Origins, but overall I really liked it. I mean, it's what you wanted, it's what you sign up for. Those games are so good. That fighting style games, and then that same fighting system kind of led me to what you call it, Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed's really good. Arkham Knight came out 6 years ago. Arkham Knight came out in 2015. What? Huh? Isn't that on the Xbox One? Didn't that? Dude, I have no sense of time. Oh, they're making a Suicide Squad video game. That might be kind of cool. Kill the Justice League is what it's called. Yo, why is Harley Quinn on the front of this Suicide Squad game with a bat? And you can see one of the main villains is gonna be Superman. What is she gonna do? What's Harley Quinn and Deadshot gonna do against Superman? Superman's kind of got red eyes though. Maybe he joins them. I don't know. Is Shark Man? King Shark. Right. Shark Man. I almost called him Shark Boy, but then I was like, no, that's his son. Shark Boy looks you dead in the eyes. Taylor Lautner looks you dead in the eyes and says, I'm Shark Boy. Shark Man is my father. Dude, I think it'd be so funny. Not funny. I think it'd be awesome if they made like a gritty, like if Robert Rodriguez made like a gritty, dark, like almost DC style superhero movie for Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Like obviously make it good. I'm just saying DC style because a lot of the DC movies are darker, like in looks and in like just overall versus like the Marvel movies. I think that'd be really cool. Especially both of those kids now are like full grown. Be like a cool action movie. Like cool. The CGI would be really good on like Lava Girl. Maybe Shark Boy's figured out how to like metamorphosize into like a king shark looking dude, which would be sick. What's Taylor Lautner doing these days? I feel like I haven't seen him in a while. What's he up to? I feel like he was the dude for a little while there. He hasn't done anything since 2018. He was on a TV series. That's kind of weird. He was on a couple TV shows, and then the last thing that I recognized that he was in Ridiculous Sick in 2015. What's my boy up to? You sound like Cat. That's weird. Because you guys remember, he was the guy. He was in a bunch of movies in like the late 2000s. Weird. So interesting how he would just like fade into obscurity like that. Can't wait until I do that. I can't wait until like literally everybody that I know except for like the person that I live with is like, do you know what happened to Travis? You heard from him recently? And they're like, no. Hope he's doing all right. And I'm just vibing. I'm just an old dude with like 6 cats. Like that's peak life right there. I mean, hopefully I don't get old. Hopefully, world ends before then. But, if it happens, it happens. If I get old, I get old. I feel like that's such a young kid's Zoomer thing to say, but it's the truth. I'm sorry. I think humanity ending's probably going to be the best thing for this planet, so might as well get it over with. Get it over with in my lifetime. We're not doing anything for this place, We're just hanging out. We're sucking everything up, and then our plan is to dip. That's so fucked up. It's also the most humanity thing ever, because like there's such a culture of throwing away trash that like us just packing up and leaving Earth like it's trash is crazy. Like that's peak humanity. Ridiculous. What else do I talk about? God, I wrote down a dream story, but that's not going to make sense to anybody because it involves 2 very specific people. This is the thing that a lot of podcasters might not want to talk about, but I'm looking at the like episode performance, and specifically I'm looking at the viewership breakdown, and they've got it separated into age groups, right? Most of them make sense, like 0 to 17, 18, 22, 23 to 27. I'm trying to hit all of them, by the way. So one of the last ones I need is the oldest age group, the one right before unknown. So, it's a pretty wide range, so I feel like I should be able to hit this. But if you guys know anybody between the ages of 60 and 150 that want to listen to the podcast, send it to them, because that's the range that Spotify has for the last age group is 60 to 150 years old, They just want to make sure that they're getting everybody. They just want to be inclusive, but I feel like it's okay if you only go to like 120. Like, I think I did hear once that the first person who's gonna live to 150 years old has already been born, which like that'll be interesting to see like how that goes up. Like by the time I'm 40, right? Which I hate to break it to you guys, but it's gonna be a while before that happens. By the time I'm 40, like who's gonna be the oldest person? Like are they gonna be 150 by then, or like is it gonna be way later down the line? Like the first person who's gonna be 150, how old are they now? Are they 60? Are they 50? Like is it gonna be 100 years before somebody's 150, or is it gonna be like probably not 20, obviously, because they'd have to be 130 right now. But it's interesting. I don't think that us getting to like 150 should be like a big milestone as a species, because once you hit 70, 60, like around the age, you start going downhill anyways. Like, could you imagine being halfway through your life and it's already like going downhill every week? That would kind of suck, wouldn't it? Like, we gotta push back what it's like to be 100. Like 100 needs to be middle-aged essentially at that point, or like 80 to 90 needs to be middle-aged, but it's not. Middle age is like mid-40s right now. So, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I don't see like humans as a species are set to start decaying. That's not a good word. I don't know what the degenerating at a certain point. So like, I don't think there's a way to push that back. So I don't see why people are like trying to outlive everybody, trying to live to 100. It sucks. It sucks for 30 years. Why are you doing it? Stop. Give up. So weird. All these analytics are really interesting to me. Still working on it, but I'm gonna try to start uploading these on YouTube. There's not gonna be any video. I don't have a webcam or anything like that. So it'll just be kind of like that beautiful logo that Bingo made for me. It'll be that beautiful logo with just the episode title over it, and that'll probably be it. So it'll basically just be audio, but I know that some people will enjoy that. It'll be just another way for me to get it out there, just to spread the positivity as much as I can, which is, I don't know if I say it enough, but that's the goal of this podcast, just to, make people laugh every now and then, have a, little 30 to 45 minute break from anything, just to listen to me babble about nothing for a while. And I just hope you guys laugh a few times. That's the goal. So really is not doing this for any weird reason. I just, I consider myself kind of funny, so just trying to spread that around, especially right now. It's quarantine. I'm not going out. I don't really like going out anyways, so best chance I have to really spread this God-given gift of humor that I've been given. Just trying to stay humble on you guys. No big deal. I'm super humble, but yeah, I'm probably gonna wrap this up here. I'm gonna go read a book like a nerd. It's a good book though. If you guys like science fiction books, give me some recommendations. I'm almost done with Dune right now. I gotta read Canticle for Leibowitz for class, but I mean, it's a good book, so I don't mind. Any kind of sci-fi fantasy books, I'm here for it. I like nonfiction books too, but it kind of gives me PTSD to a old English class that I had, where I had to read a nonfiction book like every 2 weeks. So maybe not. Maybe not. Who knows? But God, that was a good class. It was a good class. I learned a lot, but also I feel like I have nothing but bad memories. Is that weird? I feel like that's a sign of like a good educator. Like the the teacher was a great person. She was really nice and she was a great teacher, but yeah, she was rough. She was rough on us, not gonna lie. It worked out, broadened everybody's horizons. A great class. Well, I'm actually gonna wrap podcast like I said I was going to like 5 minutes ago. So I love you guys. Make sure you spread the podcast around to anybody who you think needs a couple laughs, and make sure to tell somebody you love them. I'm stealing that from Tim the Tatman, but it's a great message. Tell somebody you love them. I'll see you guys next week. Let me tell you something. This man right here, this man is an absolute unit.